Hello there, you absolute legends. Emma McElhinney here with Piss Off Perimenopause and the Musings of a Bullshit Queenager. I am here to ruin your misconceptions about perimenopause, fat loss, and kick midlife in the face. So if you think your 40s are a drag, think again. Because every week I am going to be stripping down the myths about perimenopause. I'm serving you raw, unfiltered truths about your health and smashing misconceptions about fat loss. And a whole lot more. So if you thought you knew midlife, you don't know the half of it. Aging is inevitable, but getting old is a choice. So buckle up, grab a glass of something yummy, and let's get to it. Hi, welcome to this episode of Piss Off Perimenopause, the musings of a bullshit queenager. I'm absolutely freezing. If you're watching this on the YouTubes, then you'll see that I have got my Nana blanket wrapped around me. And if you're not, I have a very nice blanket. It's multicolored. It's got wee stripes. I think it's wool. It's got tassels, and it's yeah, it's lovely. But it's not warm. It's not actually that warm. So you might hear me moving in and out of mic because I'm trying to keep it wrapped around me like an old lady. Anyway, right, today we are going to be talking about social media trends, what's right, what's wrong, what's a crock of shit, what's worth listening to. And it's probably going to be quite a short one today. I say that and then it'll probably be like 200 minutes. It won't be 200 minutes. So have you heard of cortisol face? I have cortisol face. That's what I am led to believe if I go through TikTok, which, by the way, I absolutely love TikTok. I have never, so our generation, we were like first wave. We were in our 20s when the first lot of social media hit. Think of Bebo. Do you remember Bebo? MySpace. Remember the thrill of being in somebody's top 6 friends on MySpace. Anyway, back to the nowadays, not the olden days. TikTok, cortisol. What was that? I was going to say something about TikTok. Yeah, so social media, I have never been someone that's become so absorbed with scrolling social media until TikTok. It's got a special skill of wasting minutes. Anyway, so according to TikTok, I have cortisol face. So you've probably seen them because the algorithm works. Women staring into the camera, pointing at their puffy under eyes or swollen cheeks or tired skin and saying like, this is stress, you've got cortisol face. And it's like, this is proof that my hormones are wrecked, right? Now, for one of the things that I'm seeing quite a lot just now is women really struggling to get answers or support from their primary healthcare team, doctors, etc. So sometimes things like this can feel like a bit like a lifeline. So, but we're hearing things like it's sex. Social media is sexy, right? So we hear things like the sleepy girl mocktail and the adrenal cocktail, and sometimes these can be really helpful and a really good inverted commas hack, and sometimes it's like hormone hysteria. And it's like sometimes it's absolutely ridiculous. So we're going to do a little bit about what's real, what is ridiculous, and what is actually worthwhile you paying attention to. Because, hacks are hacks. They're not meant to be the solution. Hacks are like, oh, I just need another tip. Like nobody needs a tip. They actually need a solution. And you don't need a trend. You need fact. You need truth. Okay. So when social media is a great place for us because we're not stupid. None of us are stupid, right? But we are tired. We are tired of not having answers, of not being listened to, of not having research to support anything. We're tired of being told that we can't have that HRT because it's not licensed and all these kind of things, right? Or being told like this is just what happens when you get old. So when a 30-year-old with beautiful skin and good lighting starts trying to explain to me about cortisol in a 30-second reel, I'm bought in. I'm like, oh, somebody's talking about this. This is great. But the thing with social media is that it rewards like drama. I don't know if that's right. It rewards something, but it can't give you the various nuances of things, right? So if somebody was to come on and go, stress causes inflammation, that might show up as puffiness. That's not drama. That's not gonna go viral. But like your puffy face is proof that your adrenals are shot to pieces. That is going to go viral because it's like, oh, everybody's going, oh, I've got adrenal fatigue. Most people don't have adrenal fatigue, right? No. Um, but that then, from a menopause point of view, the gap left by poor menopause educators, I suppose, our poor menopause education has been filled by content creators, not specialists, right? So they mean well, and there is often truth in what they're saying, but it never really gets across the various nuances, as I said, to it. It doesn't always get across. Everybody's different, everybody's unique. Physiology is very different person to person, and that isn't always going to be able to come across in a 30-second reel. So when you are desperate for, I don't know, validation or information to determine what your status is, I'm a perimenopausal, should I get HRT? We start anything that sounds remotely scientific or promises, control, I suppose, we're going to believe it. We're going to trust it. And it's just, this episode is more like a warning about, it doesn't, just be careful, because very often what it's all about is actually control. Like, we know that perimenopause is unpredictable. We know all these hormone fluctuations can make us unpredictable. We don't know how we're going to wake up. We don't know if we're going to have, bloating that's going to make us look 6 months pregnant. If you're doing the right nutrition, you won't do that. If you're hydrated enough, that won't happen. But it's unpredictable. So our moods could be all over the place. So what these trends tend to do is they give us this false sense of security, this false sense that if we just do the right thing, what they're telling us, the right supplement, the right drink, the right face mask, then we can fix it. But what we're actually doing is trading off one kind of control for another, really. So, like calorie restriction to cortisol tracking. We swap dieting for detoxes. Like, it's the same things. It's the same anxiety that we're putting ourselves under. It's more things to think about. It's more things to try and control. So it's the same stuff. It's just got a different label. And when you really think about it, you're like, oh yeah, that's kind of true. Like, yeah. So anyway, cortisol face is my favorite, right? Is it real? So when I first started seeing cortisol face, I was just like, get in the sea, shut up, right? So cortisol, you probably know, I'll probably reiterate myself a gazillion times here, cortisol, stress hormone, right? But we need cortisol. Cortisol is naturally occurring. It helps us wake up in the morning. It helps us focus. It helps us get tasks done. It helps regulate blood sugar levels. It keeps you alive, right? But the problem with stress is that when it's chronically elevated, i.e., when your stress levels are high all the time, long term that's going to lead to problematic things like water retention, higher blood sugar levels, increased inflammation, slower cell renewal, slower collagen turnover. So things like puffiness, skin being really dull, spots, adult acne, bloating, the skin, as I said, skin issues. These can all be signs of your body going, I'm under pressure, I'm stressed, right? But you absolutely cannot diagnose cortisol levels by looking in the mirror. There is no specific face of stress. Like the woman that I'm talking about, the one that pointed to her puffy eyes and her puffy face, like she didn't do a cortisol test before she decided that she had cortisol face. And that her eye bags were a hormonal output. It doesn't happen like that. That's not how it works. But the thing to remember also that cortisol isn't the bad guy here. Like, cortisol is like the messenger. Cortisol, as I said, it's natural. We all have cortisol levels. We all need cortisol levels. But elevated cortisol, is the messenger telling you that you are overloaded, that there's too much going on, right? Not that you've failed, not that you should pile more on, but overloaded, right? So what actually helps here, right? It's not a drink, it's not a red light mask, it's not a new serum, it's not a new supplement. It's the really dull stuff and the stuff that isn't sexy enough for social media. The stuff that, I would love to repackage my stuff up as a boot camp. It's not a boot camp. I don't do boot camps. That's just feeding into this all or nothing quick fix mentality that's got most of my clients to where they are now. Well, before they got to me. So the boring stuff is the sleep. Like actually trying to get more than 6, 7 hours sleep every single night without fail. And that means looking at your actions and your behaviors and your lifestyle and your phone use and like boring. It's really dull. Strength training is really going to help regulate cortisol. It boosts muscle growth. It helps metabolism because of that. It's increasing our bone density. It's boring though. Like that's not gonna get clicks. But yeah, so far we've got sleep a little bit more and do a little bit more strength training. You know this. This is not rocket science. You know this. Right, let's talk about food. What do we need to help keep our blood sugar levels stable? We need protein, fats, and carbs, and fiber. Oh, okay then. That's a happy hormone plate. If you've done my challenge, you'll have seen the happy hormone plate. If you've not done my challenge, where have you been? Um, Cortisol can help be improved by implementing boundaries. So you can say no to people. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to remind your husband when he asks you to remember something that he can remember all by himself because he's an adult. You can say, no, I'm not going to remind you of that. You have got access to post-it notes. You've got access to your Calendar. You remind yourself as an adult. You don't have to do everything for everybody. You can put yourself first and you can make it the right time because, ladies, the right time is a decision. It's not a feeling. When I get this every day, oh, I'd love to look after myself, Noah, but I'm just too busy. It's not the right time. Well, when is it not going to be the right? When is it going to quieten down? Because I've been waiting 25 years for life to quieten down. It's not quieting down yet. So actually, make it the right time. Make it a priority. You decide. You're the grown up. You decide. And another thing that helps with this cortisol stuff is actually breathing properly. Not just like shallow, get through the day breathing, like actually learning to take good quality breaths, and getting outside, regulating your central nervous system. You can lower your cortisol levels in 10 minutes by just going outside and breathing and walking. It's not like that doesn't sound sexy though, does it? So it's not going to get the clicks. So when you get this puffiness in your face or you're a little bit bloated or your skin's not looking particularly good, it's your body saying, I need something else in what you're doing right now. I need something different. I need less chaos or I need better food or I need more sleep. It's your body telling you that. Okay. So cortisol face is not the only thing. I did some digging. Some of these things had appeared in my feed and some had not. Hold on a wee second. I need some water. So what's real? What is rubbish? Okay. So the Sleepy Girl mocktail. Oh, Jesus. Right. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, get in the bin. But actually, there's this can be quite helpful, right? It's not going to overhaul your hormones. It's not going to rebalance your hormones, but it could be quite beneficial. Magnesium, cherry juice, and collagen powder, right? Now, some collagen powders are better than others. Some collagen powders are just fillers and shit. There's no no, I don't know. There's no peer-reviewed independent research that tells us that collagen powders are super effective. Some research tells us they're super effective. Some tells us it's negotiable. Personally, I am in a place where I'm taking collagen just now, and I seem to get benefits from a hair and nails point of view. Don't use collagen as a nutrient, as a nutritional supplement for protein. It's not particularly great from a nutritional point of view, like it doesn't really do much. You'll get more from a whey protein powder instead of collagen protein. Um, so magnesium and cherry juice can actually support sleep. Collagen's not going to harm you. So if you like it and you can afford to buy cherry juice on repeat, then go for your guns. It's not the magic wand, but it's not going to do you any harm. And if it tastes quite nice and it helps you sleep, then keep doing it. The other one that I came across was the adrenal cocktail. Um, this one is talks about rebalancing electrolytes and supporting your adrenal glands. Um, and it was orange juice, coconut water, and salt. So basically, it's like a glorified sports drink, really, because if you're adding salt, like if you want to have replenish your electrolytes, all you need is water with a wee tiny tip of teaspoon of sugar and salt in it. That's all you need from an electrolyte point of view. So this will give you a little bit of sodium, it'll give you a little bit of vitamin C. It's not a treatment, it's not again, none of this is a game changer. It could taste nice. It will certainly help you if you're doing a lot of endurance stuff or you're super sweaty. But most people don't need more electrolytes unless they are doing a lot of endurance sports. There you go. If you feel that you're really struggling with fatigue and whatnot, speak to a doctor. Don't self-diagnose and self-medicate with coconut water. Okay. This one is, oh God, right. So seed cycling. Oh, oh, different seeds for different phases of your cycle, right? Great idea. Jack shit evidence to go alongside it. Yeah, seeds are really nutritious. Yes, they're really going to help balance. They're really going to help you from a nutrition point of view. It's not particularly going to rebalance your hormones. If it helps you get more fiber and fats in, absolutely great because that's what seeds will help do for you. Some seeds have phytoestrogens, which is kind of plant-based estrogen, if you like. But you don't need to go down and spend a gazillion pounds on fancy seed cycling kits. You don't need it. The hormone balancing workouts. Now, I actually do talk about hormone supporting workouts in my programs, but one of the things that I have seen recently is about creating the perfect workout routine for estrogen days or progesterone weeks or when you're in your luteal phase or when you're in follicular phase, which is really good and actually is really beneficial for somebody that has a predictable cycle. But what we see in perimenopause is that our cycle isn't always as predictable as it once has been. So what this can possibly do is then drive overwhelm, confusion, and can be really quite damaging. You're like, well, I've got to be doing my estrogen workout today, when in actual fact your body's screaming at you, going, no, please don't do this. So that again, I don't love this phrase, is like learn to listen to what your body's telling you. So if you are absolutely exhausted, and I mean exhausted, not like telling yourself you're exhausted so that because you're lazy and you can't be arsed doing anything, is moving your body in an appropriate way. So when you start paying attention, some days you will feel physically stronger than others. Some days you'll feel more energetic than others. On those days, lift heavy. Maybe do, a longer workout. And on the days where you're absolutely flat, maybe you just need to walk and do some stretches. Like pay attention to what your body is telling you. And that is hormone supporting. So try not and get caught up into this. This is my estrogen workout. Yeah, don't do that. Collagen, I've talked about it already. So there's an absolute shed load of collagen gummies and hair supplements and skin supplements and everything like that. So as I say, the research is sketchy. It's not going to do you any harm. But the one thing that if you do need collagen, um, and you do take a supplement for collagen, you can't tell where that additional collagen is going, whether it's going into your bones or your joints or your hair or your nails or your skin. So when you see all these products for grow your hair with this collagen supplement, and I can't do that's not how absorption works. So if your hair doesn't need any collagen, it's not going to get any more collagen. It'll probably go to somewhere else that needs it, particularly maybe around connective tissue. Okay. So don't spend over the odds with any supplement like that because it's not necessarily going to do what it says on the tin. There's a lot of sexiness about gut health just now. Gut health is huge. Gut health is something we don't I don't really talk about gut health as gut health, but gut health is actually a big fundamental part of what I do when it comes to nutrition. So a healthy gut, I have said it before, and it's not a great analogy, but it kind of is basic. It is basic, and it kind of, but it helps kind of show the point that hormones are produced in the brain and secreted through the gut. So it makes sense that you need to have a good healthy gut to have good healthy hormones, and you need to have good healthy brain to have good healthy hormones. So a healthy gut, it does help regulate inflammation and it does help your metabolism, and that all helps hormones. Um, but like a healthy gut isn't just taking an Actimel in the morning or having a can of kombucha. In fact, that's going to do very, very little for your gut health. Real gut health comes from what you're consuming. So less stress is a huge factor of improving your gut health. More water, more fiber, that you would get that from plant-based foods. Because fiber's just the undigestible part of plants. So yeah, it's not hard to, it's like getting more fibre. All you need to do is eat more fruit and veg, which we all know we should be eating more fruit and veg anyway. Having good quality protein sources is great for gut health. So yeah, look at gut health as actually being a really beneficial part of managing menopause symptoms. Instead of pouring money or energy into gut health supplements, look at what you can control first. Um, because otherwise it's just a big waste of money, like buying things like your gut health detox products, solubles, more supplements. Just go back to basics. Think about, am I drinking enough water? Am I managing my stress? Am I getting enough sleep? Am I eating enough protein? Am I eating protein at every meal? Am I eating 5 portions of fruit and veg a day? Am I getting 20 odd grams of protein, grams of fiber in a day? If no, do that first. Not sexy, but that's what works. Um, so like a lot of these trends, and it feels bad to say, a lot of these aren't necessarily about empowering you to make better decisions. Um, there, a lot of them are kind of based, well, most of them are based on profit. I mean, they are businesses, and it's some of them is this whole fear factor, isn't it? Like the fear of getting older, the fear of getting overweight, the fear of losing control. All of these things are real fears. Like that's fine. Um, but when your body is telling you things that it wants to change, it wants you to get better at helping it do, look to what you can do first before having to buy something that claims it can help you. Um, like the wellness industry, like the diet industry, diet culture of 10 years ago has just been replaced by wellness. It's cleaner, it's nicer branding, it's more gentle, but it's still the same stuff. It's still the same. If you don't use this, you're going to look old. If you don't use this, you're going to get fat. If you don't use this, you're going to be look as not as a success. Um, so it's like bikini body has just become balanced hormones. And chances are, like in 10 years' time, it'll go back round again. Like this is how this stuff works. But listening to your body means just that. Listen to what your body is telling you. And I know it's hard because over the years we've stopped listening to our bodies. It took me a long time to actually hear what my body was saying. So it's just, I know it's easy for me to say, learn to listen to your body, but actually listen to your body because all of these symptoms of indication, sorry, of perimenopause is just communication. It's just your body saying, right, you are puffy, right? You actually maybe need to sleep. Oh, I'm really bloated all the time. Right, I really need to look into my nutrition. Um, and it's about rebuilding that relationship with yourself. And that sounds really wishy-washy, I know, but yeah, building the relationship with yourself. That's quite empowering. Aye, listen to the relationship with yourself. Anyway, what makes a difference? I've said it already. Look at the inputs that you are doing. Are you eating the right foods? Are you eating 5 portions of fruit and veg? Are you drinking enough water? Are you eating protein at every meal? Are you eating slow instead of wolfing your food down all the time? Are you strength training a couple of times a week? Are you getting outside and walking? Are you sleeping? Are you got a sleep routine? Are you coming off your phone? Are you letting your brain recover? Are you saying no to things that you don't want to do or shouldn't be doing so that you can actually focus on you? These are all the things. These are not the sexy TikTok things. These are the sexy Eat, Move, Win things. Sexy Emma things. Because sensibly, you'll know that the magic thing on TikTok isn't going to save you. Because you know the thing that's going to save you is the stuff that you don't want to do, the non-sexy stuff, the stuff that feels hard. And it's not hard when you know how to, when you've got the right approach of how to build new habits and behaviors in place. It's not hard. It's easier than you could ever possibly imagine. We are just all conditioned to be into this quick, I need to do it all now, and by tomorrow I'll feel amazing. And it's not. It's slower. It's, did I say gentler? It's not really a word that I resonate with, gentle, but that's what we sometimes need to do to our body. So anyway, next time you're on the scroll and you see a video saying that you can diagnose your cortisol levels from your face, just remember that's not how biology works. That's not how it all works. And if I can help you with all of this stuff, then you can just let me know. Follow me on Instagram, get on the weekly email. You know, you can do all the things. The stuff for that is in the show notes. All right, my darling, have an amazing rest of your day. Share this with somebody that needs it, and I'll speak to you in the next one. And just like that, we have spiced up another episode of Piss Off Perimenopause and the Musings of a Bullshit Queenager. Massive shout out and a huge thank you for hanging out with me today. I really hope you've been entertained. And remember, don't be shy, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, keep those heels high and standards higher. Remember, it's all about glowing, growing and downright owning it. So catch you on the flip side, and don't forget to click the link in the show notes to get your freebie.